Hi, good morning. I'm very happy to be with you today, and it's Saturday. We're already September 20th. Wow. What's happened to this amazing month? We're getting some rain in Northern California. I'm counting olives on the tree to see if I have enough to do a crush. And the local crush told me I require 5-gallon buckets, a total of 12, to have a minimum amount of olives, green forward, to create a crush for the year. So I have an idea, and I'll probably gather together all the people that are really supporting my effort to do this olive trees. And have a dinner and just make a fall farm dinner. And everyone gets a bucket and everyone gets to pick olives. And there's such a wonderful thing about pulling people together who are friends, who love you, who believe in you, who support your efforts. I'm so blessed to have an amazing group of friends. I had a dinner about a month and a half ago for a dear friend who retired. And everyone came and we sat under the willow trees and it was glorious. And I'm so thankful. And I have quite a few amazing friends that are photographers who just love to do photos. So I have a lot of wonderful photos, but my goal is to do sort of a quarterly dinner where we just gather, laugh, hug, talk about life, talk about goals, talk about beliefs, talk about preparation for retirement. I'm doing my first ever seminar. This one is more at a booth where I'm sending out emails before and after this booth for nurse leaders. But it's all about, are we prepared? And are we prepared with our benefits for retirement? Do we believe in ourselves enough because we care for everyone else? Have we taken the time to care for ourselves? And so all those frontline warriors are my team. They're my tribe. They're my people. So in every emergency, we're there together. We're supporting each other through thick and thin. What I've seen over time is when we go down, some people fall hard. They get sick. They're not prepared. And yes, they have died or gotten sick. And in many ways, the benefits that we're given at the hospital don't provide 100%. So I'm there to educate, to investigate, to build protection, and then to build trust in a process where growth of wealth is something where it starts with cash growth. They say the smartest among us quietly may not look very wealthy, but we save a lot of wealth. My ex-husband was like that. When I met him, I loved him because he was constantly learning. And there's something about that I really adore. But yet he was so frugal that I found it really difficult. I wish somebody had sat me down, wrung me, and said, there's a reason for his madness. And I would have learned just how important it is, because he's in Malta building flats on the Mediterranean. So we all learn our lessons, don't we? So each day, I'm here to teach you something very, very special. And today, my dear friends, for all of us who believe in ourselves enough, but not enough, that we don't love ourselves enough to make sure that we've got our portfolio together. So what I'm going to commit to you today is I'm going to start from myself, and I'm just going to believe in myself fully, which means get my ducks in order, start saving 10 to 30% of what I make, and then each week present to you an idea, something different. We're going to think about it in terms of a tree. And the tree has many, many branches, and each branch becomes an investment vehicle that we will fill. But as we know, the tree doesn't grow strong, nor does it get grounded unless we have a solid root base. So the root base is our health, the ability to have a good blood pressure, have a good diet, sleep, take care of ourselves, not allow puppies to get us stressed, make sure we nurture our grounds, our house, our surroundings, eat right, surround ourselves with beautiful visuals, be blessed for the job that we have, take that all in, but have the ability to not give out everything that we've accumulated, find ways to embrace those things and save those things. Yesterday, I spoke about the Roth IRA. We're going to compare that today, but we're going to add a couple of other subjects today. So we're going to stick with the subject of IRA, qualified investments, but today we're going to speak to the SEP IRA. And what does that mean? You're going to say, what the heck is a SEP IRA? Well, it's a simplified employee pension. And it's established or designed, for self-employed people. So when I do seminars for legal nurse consultants or dentists or doctors who are employed by themselves, they oftentimes want to hear about what is the SEP. So, or a small business owner, and they make tax-deductible contributions for themselves and their employees into this plan. And up to 25% of their compensation, or $69,000, is what can be contributed in 2024, whichever is less. For tax treatment, contributions to the SEP are tax deductible to the employer, and the growth of the investment is tax deferred until withdrawal. So keep that in mind as a tax consequence. It's tax deferred until withdrawal. Withdrawals, when you do withdraw the money from the SEP IRA, it is taxed as ordinary income. If you withdraw the money before 59 and a half, please know this. There is a 10% penalty unless an exception applies. And that's why it's so important to measure our spending, accumulate our savings, and grow wealth each and every day. So go back and think about that tree again. When you hit 73, there is what's called required minimum distributions that we have to take. We can't just accumulate and accumulate and accumulate. At some point in time, we have to start taking money out. And what is the advantage of a SEP IRA for all of you business owners, independent workers, self-employed individuals, legal nurse consultants, whatever? What is the advantage? Well, there are very high contribution limits, which make it extremely attractive for business owners wanting large deductible contributions, which once you put it into the SEP, it's not in that bucket that's taxed immediately. So you're going to reduce whatever you put in there. You're going to reduce your taxable income for the year. Bravo, bravo, bravo. So let's go back and review what we learned yesterday about the Roth IRA and how does that compare. So Roth is funded with after-tax dollars by individuals, not employer-sponsored. So the Roth is totally independent. Contributions are up to $6,500 per year, or if you're greater than 50, $7,500 for 2024. So this type of plan is phased out for a single filer anywhere from 138 to 153,000. It's higher for a couple. So tax treatments, contributions are not deductible, but your earnings in them grow tax-free. Fabulous, okay? Withdrawals, qualified withdrawals are tax-free. Note, tax-free if the account is at least 5 years old and you are 59 and a half or greater. So all good things. So there's no required minimum distributions during the lifetime, your lifetime, not the lifetime, your lifetime. And what is the advantage? Tax-free growth. That big word tax again is very important because it eats up a lot of your earnings. And we have to find ways to manage our taxation. So tax-free growth and withdrawals, ideal if you expect to be in a higher tax bracket. So all very, very good things and really, really, really important for you to learn all of it. So let's do one more thing since we're here together and we're learning so much. Let's talk about the traditional IRA. They call it the regular IRA. So funded as well by an individual. Anyone can open a regular IRA with earned income within the IRS limits. So contributions, again, up to $6,500 or $7,500 if you're greater than 50. And the deductibility depends upon your income and whether you and or your spouse are covered by a workplace plan. So the contributions may be tax deductible and the growth is tax deferred. It is taxed as ordinary income. And again, there's a 10% penalty if you withdraw before 59 and a half. Also, there are required minimum distributions beginning at 73. So the advantage to the traditional IRA, again, as I talked about earlier, if you put your money, your $6,500 into the traditional IRA each year within the time allotted, you have an upfront tax deduction to reduce your current taxable income. That is huge, my dear friends. Anything to reduce our taxable income is smart. So let's review our key comparisons today, because every day we're going to learn something. And if you're part of this call, let's learn something each and every day together. I believe in you. Hopefully you believe in me. We will start on this journey together. I will start to share a portfolio, and we will grow wealth, and we will put money into different buckets, and I will talk about each and every one of those buckets, and in that way we'll all learn together. So what are our key takeaways today? Hopefully this has become a wonderful Saturday session that we share. The SEP is employer funded. The Roth and the traditional are individual funded, period. Okay, lock that in. Tax break timing. The SEP is the contribution limit is the highest. You can put in up to $69,000. Got that? Traditional is much lower. You can only put in $6,500 or $7,500 if you're older than 50. As a tax break timing, the SEP and traditional give upfront deductions. The Roth gives a tax-free withdrawal. The withdrawal for the Roth, again, is tax-free. The SEP and the traditional are taxed as ordinary income. And the required minimum distributions required for the SEP and the traditional, but not for the Roth. So with that, my dear friends, whatever you vividly imagine and truly believe will come to pass. Believe in yourself. Believe in your presence. Have clarity. Take your blood pressure, exercise, eat well every day. Don't forget to sleep. And don't forget, we are given today. What you do with it is your choice. How you live it is your choice. Choose every day to care for someone else, care for yourself, and save a couple more pennies. All my best to you. Have a good day.